Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamualaikum. Madayaw ug maayong adlaw kaninyong tanan. Good day to everyone. It is my pleasure to join the speakers and delegates of the World Assembly of Women via this recorded video message. We are currently observing the Philippines' 18-day campaign to end violence against women, a yearly commemoration highlighting the Philippines' institutional intolerance of any form of violence that affects our women. The Philippines actively champions gender equality and women's empowerment. We have consistently presented this in the annual United Nations Commission on the Status of Women meetings and in various other international engagements. During the CSW in March 2022, in line with the theme Achieving Gender Equality and the Empowerment of All Women and Girls in the Context of Climate Change, Environmental and Disaster Risk Reduction Policies and Programs, we shared how the Philippines has enacted, institutionalized, and implemented policies, programs, and plans that are multi-sectoral, participatory, inclusive, and gender responsive. As concurrent Secretary of Education, I am well aware that due to enduring stereotypes, women continue to be underrepresented in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics education, and in decision-making processes at all levels of climate change development planning and disaster risk reduction and management. While there is a long way to go in ensuring equitable representations in STEM and DRRM, we have made headways, especially as the Philippines had early on passed the Climate Change Act, mandating a gender-sensitive, pro-children, and pro-poor perspective in all climate change and renewable energy efforts. The Climate Change Commission of the Philippines spearheads the gender mainstreaming efforts of national and local governments to build adaptive capacities of communities, increase resilience of vulnerable sectors and natural ecosystems to climate change, and optimize mitigation opportunities for gender-responsive and rights-based sustainable development. Other mechanisms in the Philippines include the long-term National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Plan 2020 to 2030 and the National Climate Change Action Plan 2011 to 2028, both of which recognize gender as a cross-cutting concern to be integrated in decision-making, designing, planning, budgeting, implementation, and monitoring activities. Efforts to address women's and girls' heightened vulnerabilities and immediate needs during disasters include establishment of women-friendly spaces in evacuation centers to prevent gender-based violence in emergencies and ensuring accessibility of services for victim survivors. The Philippine Department of Social Welfare and Development has taken steps to ensure that GBV is considered in guidelines for responding to disasters and emergency situations. Going forward, the Philippines remains committed to further implement concrete reforms and locally driven country obligations to the Paris Agreement and Sendai Framework to build resilience and empower communities towards sustainable development and inclusive growth. It brings me pride to report that the Philippines is signatory to significant international instruments, the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women, to which the Philippines was the first ASEAN country to sign in 1980. Second, the UN Security Council Resolution 1325, which reaffirms the important role of women in the prevention and resolution of conflicts, peace negotiations, peace building, peacekeeping, humanitarian response, and in post-conflict reconstruction, and stresses the importance of their equal participation and full involvement in all efforts for the maintenance and promotion of peace and security. And third, the UN Security Council Resolution 1820, which explicitly links sexual violence as a tactic of war with women, peace and security issues. To operationalize its commitment under 3 international commitments, the Philippines was the first in Asia to adopt a national action plan on women, peace, and security in 2010. Women's engagement in disaster management is essential for building disaster-resilient communities and in ensuring that experiences from the past feed into enhanced policies. The Philippines that I envision is a country with amplified voices of women that speak of an inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable haven for its citizens. Daghang salamat. Thank you very much.